class. Today we're going to learn about Flexbox and Grid from this Learning Web Design textbook, which is mentioned on the website. It's the textbook for this class, so we're actually going to use it. And I will link the chapters to you, and let's dive right in. Okay, so I have adjusted our web page slightly. I've made this red, orange, yellow, green sections for each color in the rainbow. So now let's do a little bit of formatting so that we can have ease of organization later. So the first thing we want to do is to put all of the different colors into a main tag inside of the HTML page. And now we will probably want to make divs for each color. So I'll say div ID equals red. Oops. Yes. And then this will close the div. And I can clean up a little bit. Oh, actually, this H1 is outside of that. Okay, so the main title is on the same level as the div, and then all of this stuff is inside. And then we'll make our next div for the orange. I may regret this naming convention later on. We shall see. Like maybe I want to give them all the same class name or something. But for now, we can do this. So yellow, green, and div, blue, and div, and violet. And div. Okay, and then we have this. We shall see what it will be named. Okay, but now we have some means of styling these sections, and we'll go back to our CSS to start the flex box. So here I know for certain that I want to make a color something that is going to identify these sections. So for starters, I can green, I can put this background color information into each one, and since I named them according to their color, I can just copy and paste that right here. Save, and let's have a look. Okay, so here are our sections. Alright, so how can we use Flexbox to organize them? So I think one of the things we want to do we're also going to call this box. Yes. Yes. Because all of these are going to be flex boxes. So I don't know if this exercise will work with IDs, it works with classes, but let us see. So the first thing we're going to say here is container. Did I not call it container? I called it main. Yeah. We're going to say main. So it turned red because it is a element, a non-user defined element name. And we're going to say display, I believe. Display, yes, flex. Okay. And so when we look at it in Firefox, everything has now flown. So it's a reflowing, right? So this is the way it was before. And now it's all in a grid. So that's pretty cool. I don't know where the colors went. We will investigate that shortly. Now, one thing that I don't like is this. So let's just adjust that real quick. So let's see, main display flex. Because like, what if I just put it in a div together? Okay. So we've given them all names. Okay, so now that these are in a div together, they are in one column together. Alright, so now we have a beautiful text, beautiful typeface, and we have this beautiful reflow. Kind of looks like a newspaper or something. So one thing I can already see about my layout is that I definitely want the title to be outside of this reflow situation. So let me do that. Excellent. So now I have this title, and then I have these reflows. Alright. Hopefully we can get our color back. Okay, so it may be possible that I cannot do multiple IDs. It kind of seems that way. I am not sure, but I am sure that I can do multiple classes. So I'm just going to replace all of these IDs with classes. And instead of a hash here, I will have a period. And I hope that that will return my color back to me. Let's see. Yay! I'm so happy. Okay, so now that we have this color coding, this is going to help us see the different arrangement that we have. So we have this display flex, but something we can do when we have a assemblage of information that we would perhaps want to show in a different way is we can change the order of this information. So this is called Flex Direction, and here we have our 4 choices. So we're already in columns. No, we're in rows. We're in rows, and the default is in rows. So let's try this reverse. And now they're all in reverse. Now let's try column. And it's column reverse, so this is how we can make our information flow up and down. So this is kind of, row and column is like the inline and block that we had before. Okay, so the next really fun setting you can give to Flexbox is you can set the wrap. So we can say flex wrap, and yes, we want to wrap it, and that has changed nothing because my boxes are so big here that we're not going to see the change. So maybe I'm going to say font size, and just for the sake of making our text smaller, it's still very, very long. Can we do 1 pix font? Is that even possible? Oh, it's still so long. It's just the longest. See, I feel like I can at least make them be a certain size. So let's say we have our boxes. So this is the goodness of having 2 class calls. We can set, even though they all have different colors, we can set their width. Okay, we've set the width, that's great. They're not hanging out next to each other, so because of this. Okay. Alright. So we've set it to row here, and then set the width to 25, maybe we can do 20. So you can see now it's wrapping, and there will always be 5 up here because 100% of the entire browser divided by 5 equals 20%. So when we say 20%, we're essentially saying we're going to have 5 boxes up here. If we set it to 25, we're always going to have 4. So this is a great way to make flexible boxes that resize in the grid-like structure. Okay, so now I want to do a reverse wrap. So here we have wrap. We can also say wrap reverse. Oops. Save. Okay, and now they're wrapped in reverse. Pretty cool. Okay, but if we have this set to column, And we shrink the container. That should make it, yes, okay. So we shrunk the container, so that is making everything go back up. So by shrinking the container, I forced my boxes to not be one after each other, but instead I'll be in a line again. And then if I go here and I say no wrap, then it should become a column again. Yeah. So now they're not wrapped. And now they're in a column, but they're wrapped. So basically you have many different ways by playing with the settings in Flexbox to create layouts. Now this is really fun. We can justify the content. So I set it to flex end, and so now it's all like going from the end and the bottom. So that's cool. Kind of looks like a bar graph. And we can justify its center. Just like the way you justify text. And I don't know what this effect this will have, but we can do space around. Okay, so this kind of aligns them on the central line, horizon line alignment, if you will. There's also space between. That's kind of the same effect as regular distribution. Okay. And we're in columns so far, so let's go back to row. So that is Flexbox. While we're on this rainbow page, I want to add one final thing. There's CSS gradient. So I want to give a nice gradient to my title. What I really want is this gradient. Can we do it? I think we can. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and this will be red. So we're just going to use this color picker. Yellow is always so faint. To get all of the colors of the rainbow. And we will, oh, I totally skipped out on blue there. There we go. I love this. So it has this fallback background of red and this way background of rainbow. And we'll go to our, we've never named it, but let's name it nav. This is our generated rainbow gradient. Save. And up here, we can encapsulate it. with a nav tag. Save. And now when we go back here, ta-da, we have a beautiful rainbow, which also scales with our window. Okay, so those are basic Flexbox basics. I hope you will use them and that they'll be helpful in your website and assignment for this week. And now we're going to reset the stage in order to do grid.